Hi, is anybody there? How are you doing? Hope you're all well, guys. So I thought I'd come back on. Maybe some more people will join now, but is anybody here? Come and say something if you're watching. Uh, there's three people watching, but if anyone's there, come and say hello. How's your evening going, everybody? How's it going at Edward? Oh, you're on the lunch break. Oh, yeah, because it's going to be like, I guess you're on the west coast of America then. All right, cool. So are you working at then? What sort of job is it? It's great to have you here. Just kind of going live for a while, see who we're getting. We should talk about a few random things, really. Just kind of just a bit of like chit chat, whatever. And talking about some of my plans for probably the next year, probably around next spring. Planning to do a massive like bike ride marathon thing to raise money for charity. So someone last night said he would chip in £100, so I've already got someone that'd be willing to put £100 into it. So if I can get some more people willing to put money like that in, then could be raising thousands, guys. So it'd definitely be worth doing, and it's something I want to do anyway. It's something I want to do just for my own, something fun, just a fun sort of thing, and I can do some vlogs while I'm doing it, do some location stuff, show different places, things like that. I'm planning to even go beyond the country, going to different countries, and yeah. But you're from the East Coast. Well, how is it lunch break there? It's like just after 8 p.m. here. So you must have quite a late lunch then, I'm guessing. From where we are, we usually have it around 12 or something, maybe 1, but yeah, that sort of time we would consider it to be like an afternoon snack or something, um, but yeah. Anyway, whatever. But yeah, it's just good to have like some ambitions, and it's just gonna help keep you getting out of bed in the morning, keep you motivated, and you just gotta try and stay focused and focus on what it is you want to achieve out of life. Really, it's good to have some purpose that's greater than just you, like something that's gonna benefit other people, not just yourself. Um, so I can just really give that fulfillment in life to um, feel like your life is worth living and all that, and just give you that sense of just like meaning and all that kind of stuff. So uh, anyway, you're still there, Edward? Sounds cool. That is key. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's about having purpose and meaning in your life. Because otherwise, you're just gonna feel like low self-esteem, low self-worth, sense of self-worth, low confidence. Just feel like your life is kind of meaningless, and just that can help. That can cause people to spiral into depression and negative thoughts, and just becoming more sedentary and not doing anything with their lives. We are designed to move. We are designed to be proactive. We're not designed to just sit around all day. Our bodies are meant to be moving around and doing things. But when we don't have maybe the motivation to do it, then the body would, want to conserve energy. So then it doesn't want to move around very much. But when there's motivation to do that, like it will, we will do whatever we need to do. So it's about finding that motivation, finding that drive to better yourself, and that maybe, like I said, for some people is helping others. If it's like you struggle to do it for you, then maybe you'd be able to do it for other people if you care about other people enough. So um, anyway, thank you for the likes, guys. Much appreciated. Well, just one like, but yeah, thank you for that. So what are you going to get up to with the rest of your day once you're done then? Are you going back to work then, or you going home? What are your plans? So yeah, I don't really talk about all this like conspiracy stuff anymore really much. It's just, to me, it's kind of stuff I'm like, well, what exactly can I do about all these world issues and stuff that me myself can't really do much. So, you know, it feels like, throughout history, we've always had like corruption and all that, and it's just that's all the way it's always been. Unfortunately, how's it going, Josh? Yeah, not too bad, thank you. Where are you from, Josh? Thank you for the like, Josh. Much appreciated. Share me out, guys, if you can. Try and get some more people in this building. Much appreciated. Yeah. Yeah, it's just about like if you want to help support this and get more out to more people, then yeah, share it on your own page and we'll get more people in that way. 3 people in now, nice one. Yeah, cool. Yeah. How what are you all doing? So like I said, it's all conspiracy stuff. I mean, yeah, there's certain truth to a lot of it, and it's like I think there's also a lot of misinformation out there as well that people fall for. Um, People that call themselves truthers who are just falling for lies and misleading information. So, but it is what it is. I think a lot of it's kind of a joke, to be honest. A lot of the so-called truth community. So I kind of just distance myself from that and just do my own thing, really. That's all I want to focus on, just being a positive change. I'm planning to actually cycle around the country and maybe go beyond and live a pretty free lifestyle. That's kind of, because I'm not in a fixed location. I'm not subject to all the taxes and everything that everyone has to pay. So I'm a lot more free in that way. I can be somewhere else each day. I can get around the world and just live a good lifestyle, that full of abundance and all that. So maybe at some point I will settle down and buy somewhere. Maybe I'll go somewhere like, I think Eastern Europe's got some like pretty cheap places like Romania, Croatia, Bulgaria, places like that, which are like, I've seen that like the price to live there, it's probably like half of what it is here. It's like pretty cheap. So yeah, like you don't necessarily have to be earning massive amounts, but if your income's coming from like elsewhere, if you become like a digital nomad, for example, and you can just like have a remote income that is like passive income streams, that sort of stuff, and you're living somewhere quite cheap, then you're pretty much living like a king if you're just kind of even just on a low income, pretty much, because the prices of everything is a lot cheaper. So yeah, I just want to focus on just try to set my life up to become successful and also make a difference at the same time, because it'd be great if I get successful, but then if I'm not sort of feeling like I'm actually living out a purpose, then I'm missing something. I'm missing a certain aspect. So evil forces are very powerful. Deception, lies, and it's like it's so powerful. It goes so deep, and it's like, what are we supposed to do? Best thing to do is just set an example for others. That's what I want to do. I want to set an example, and so this is a way you can live. And I'm trying to help people, say, like, especially those who are, all right, take care, Edward. Have a good one. I think we're in the middle of WW3. We have been trained to think that war is to do with bombs and guns. Yeah, we're in an information war right now. It's all just, disinformation on both sides, and a lot of it's just about, just confusing people. Anyway, I'm gonna get a drink, so. Yeah, well, these like sort of this mental or spiritual warfare that. All right, Nitram, good to see you. I didn't know you were still on my channel, but yeah, good to see you. I don't know if you know, but I'm planning this like long bike ride thing but I'm planning to do it for charity, guys. It's I've already got someone who might be throwing £100 in already, so if I can get like even just 10 people to throw in £100, that's like £1,000 raised. So obviously not everyone's going to throw that much, but if on average we got, say, even £10 and 100 people, that's still £1,000. So but we could potentially get hundreds of people throwing money at it. So yeah, that's the plan anyway. I mean, it would all just purely go to charity. It's not to like try to fund my trip. I'd do that off my own money and everything. So I don't expect, to be, paid. I mean, people want to fund me to do that. That's up to them. I've got, donations and that stuff I can earn, but they can do that if they want. But I could set up, I don't know how I'm going to do it, whether I need to set up a new bank account. So then the money goes into that or something. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly how it's all works with these fundraisers. Maybe I'd use some kind of platform but then they'd take a cut, wouldn't they? So I don't necessarily want to be doing that, because I want it all to purely be going to charity, not some middleman taking a cut, So I don't know what you guys think, but what the best thing for that is. But my plan is to actually just I could basically, what I want to do is cycle around for world, when I'm not necessarily the entire world, but a good part of it. I may end up settling for somewhere like, I don't know, like either Eastern Europe or Southern Europe, somewhere like that. If it's somewhere where the cost of living is pretty cheap and I can just buy a nice house or something at some point. I know a lot of these people go for like Romania because it's cheap. There could be other reasons for it, about things like maybe there's more. I don't know if it's a better place for things like tax or whatever, but I've heard like I think Spain's pretty cheap and places like that, but it'd be nice to live somewhere quite warm. So somewhere maybe with a sea view, not have to like get in a mansion or anything like that. So I don't need any of that stuff, but maybe somewhere with a sea view. Um, just somewhere nice, or somewhere that's yeah, decent weather, somewhere kind of maybe at the sea, something like that. Yeah, and I could have people come round and we'd have parties and stuff. Just somewhere nice and quiet, just somewhere. I said maybe seaside, something like that. But that's down the line. Um, but yeah, I've just got so many plans. I want to start different projects and things like that. Custom playing cards, and I'm just wondering if people are interested in that because we need to get about 1,000 people to actually want to buy these things. And every time I bring a new one out, I want to if people actually keep on buying them because I'd have to find at least maybe 1,000 people that would be willing to actually purchase that kind of stuff. So hopefully as well, yeah, I'm not doing too bad, thank you. I've had some rough times recently, just feeling down and stuff, but I'm trying to just focus on all the positive stuff and all the things that I want to do in the near future because I know it is coming soon. So I'm just trying to focus on the light and make sure that I'm moving towards it and not letting things distract me. So yeah, yeah. So anything else, guys? Anyone still here? Looks like all the people on Facebook left. I don't know if you're still there, Nitron, but yeah, like I said before, I've stopped kind of with all this conspiracy stuff. I try to focus on my own growth and my own development and focus on my purpose because that's what's going to give me the most fulfillment in life. I feel like maybe some of these people might have actually held me back, to be honest. The people who I've associated with over the years that kept me distracted from actually doing something with my life. I don't know, but it's ultimately down to me to take the responsibility to do something, You only live one life, so make the most of it. I know some people might think we don't just live one life, but we've just got to like still here. Yeah, follow your plans, screw the negative people. Yeah, that's it. You got to ignore any negativity and just. There's also been some like women. I think they've just been trying to play mind games with me or something, and just try to mess around and just So just gotta try and kind of not get distracted by it all and not let it get you down and not let it lower your self-esteem or any of that because you just got to be aware that there are a lot of freaks online and even in the real world and yeah. But anyway, just got to focus on the grind, focus on doing more positive stuff really, and then good things will come your way. But yeah, I need to know if people will be interested in like a custom playing cards because that's something I want to at some point start to sell. But yeah, I got like a week suspension from going live on TikTok, so that's not good because I was growing on there pretty fast. and it just feels a bit crap that they've blocked me from going live for a week. But it will soon come around. So just gotta be careful. But apparently it was for hate speech, and there was no reason for it. It was just, yeah. I don't know. It's just it would help if they give me an actual reason why. What you mean? What exactly did I say that was hate speech? If they can't tell you that, then how is that helpful? It's not. It's just. Anyway, they might say, "Oh, well, you have to look at like the guidelines and all that." I mean, they're just designed to be just really kind of convoluted and just take hours to read, pretty much, and digest and all of that. But yeah, it doesn't look like anyone else has arrived. But it would have been nice if someone could have shared me out or something. But yeah, probably won't be on too long. But I'd be interested in supporting you by purchasing a deck of cards. How much are they going for? Well, I've not planned it yet. It's just I need to know like how much interest there is in it. It's just that the plan would be to. Well, it depends on delivery and all that, because obviously that would be so that the customer would be paying. So let's just say I was looking at some of them and they were going somewhere between £2 and £3, but then I'd have to put markup on that. Probably looking at around £5 or so, and maybe a little bit more. I'm not exactly certain. It depends on what material it's made from and all of that. And I was looking at a website, but unless you're selling at least 1,000, it's not worth doing. If I go on this thing called Make Playing Cards or something, something like that. It's one way they manufacture custom playing cards. So I could get because I know somebody who can do like AI art. So the problem is I have to try and come up with some ideas, try and get him to make it. Yeah, it was this one. I was on makeplayingcards.com, and yeah, you can sort of go to custom playing cards, choose template. So you just go to a start design. I don't know if does it even come with a box or something, or I don't know, but there's different ones that you can get, but yeah, but is this whiteboard or I don't know. I'm just having a look at some different ones because depending on the different things that they'll cost more or less, whatever. But you can get them in different amounts. Like for example, if you buy 1 to 5, it's going to cost £12.70. Yeah, £12.70 to buy 1 to 5 of them, and then so these are for like I think they're pretty basic or something, but yeah, I don't know. But these are poker size cards, so I think that's like standard pretty much. Like I have all these like bicycle cards. I think they're poker size. I know there's bridge size are a bit narrower. But yeah, so depending on the ones that but these are sort of smooth ones. I mean, if you want linen, they're even more expensive. So, but this is a bit standard ones. 1 to 5 of them, it's like £12.70 a deck. But as you get up to like 1,000 to 2,499, the price drops to £2.30. So it becomes very much cheaper at that point. So it becomes a point where I could just say sell it at £5. I'd get like £2.70 in profit from each of them. But obviously, depending on, if I go for one that's linen, let's say, it's going to be more expensive because it's a better quality. 1 to 5 is like £14.20. 1,000 to 2,499, it's £2.80. So it's not massively more expensive, but it is somewhat more expensive. It would still be about a £2.20 profit if I sold it at £5 per deck or something. But I'd have to see what people are willing to pay and all that kind of stuff, and just gauge the market on that. But I'd have to find out if people are willing to even buy it, how many people would be. But that's, say if I sold 1,000 of them, then that would make around a couple of thousand or so in profit. And if I put out one every like few months, that could become like a bit of like a business sort of thing, really. I was wondering if like it became quite profitable, that you might even be able to like use the cost of producing it as a tax write-off or something. So that's a good thing about like having your own business. You can then use expenses as tax write-off. So then it lowers the amount of tax that you have to pay, because tax, we don't really want to be paying that as much as possible, because it's kind of, a lot of it's going to things that we don't really want it to be going to. So but I'd have to like sort of maybe take pre-order to subsidize. I'd be willing to pay in advance. Yeah, maybe I'd look at like Indiegogo or something like that. Indiegogo is one that does that kind of stuff, but there's another one called Kickstarter, which these sort of things I think are, but again, they take cuts, these things, but it can be worth it as like a way to sort of, because the thing is, I don't lose anything if it ends up falling through. They get their money back, I think is how I understand it. They'll only actually pay if like it actually ends up going through and I actually do get it made and I get it produced. But so there's no risk on their end, basically. There's no risk to anybody, really. It's just but I think they end up taking like 5 or maybe 10% profit. So I'd have to then factor that into my profit calculation. But I'd have to find out. I mean, I could put it out on TikTok and find out how many of my fans would be willing to do that. But I wasn't planning to do that just yet, because try and get more of an audience and stuff. But maybe I'll try and reach out to some people on Facebook as well, even just like friends and family, and see if they're willing to support. It's obviously something I could. You never know who might support you. I might sort of ask around. I've got this new group. I mean, maybe some of those people might want to help out and help me sort of get my business going and all that. And but I need to I need to have some ideas and stuff, and maybe there could be like seasonal themed ones, like Halloween theme, Christmas theme, things like that I could do. So I could have things like like maybe I could have like the picture cards as like one of them could be Santa and one could be like maybe the Jokers will be like elves. I think that would be a funny one, actually. So something like that could be quite funny. But but I don't know. I'd have to come up with some ideas. Like you could have like Halloween theme. You could have like pumpkins and stuff, and like you could have different like vampires, things like that, and Grim Reaper and whatever. You could. Like there's a lot of different themes. It's just trying to narrow it down and try to kind of have something kind of specific, really. And but it is something that's obviously easier said than done, and can be a tricky thing, really. You could be the picture on the king cards. Yeah, yeah, I could do that. It could be like, yeah, um, yeah, I'd be the king. Sounds good to me. If I really wanted to be like a total narc, you know. Maybe I could be a jack because I'm like a jack of all trades. But I was thinking about maybe even giving a few of them away as like a giveaway, because if you do giveaways, then it can drum up more interest in what you're doing, and maybe the first few I could give away, like I don't know, but maybe like say if people do like pre-orders or if they win them, there could be a thing where they get a signed copy or something like that, or something would be signed. I don't know. There's some ideas and stuff I could like try to. I'll probably just sign the cellophane that comes in or something. So that's to make sure they just kind of don't waste the cellophane. You should probably keep the cellophane on, so like it preserves the box, I guess. But yeah, it's just about reaching out to people. Maybe I could reach out to some like the magicians and stuff like that. I was thinking about actually like reaching out to some of the channels to try and see if they would be willing to like share it out, and maybe I could send them a free copy, and then they could do a review and be like, "Oh, check this out. He's doing this thing." And so yeah, I've had some ideas with that, but that's something I kind of put on the back burner because it's just, do I really have enough people that would be to actually make it kind of worthwhile? I mean, 100 to 249, it's like £6.25, 250 to 499, £4.75, sorry, £4.95, 500 to 999, £3.75. So it just isn't really profitable unless I'm selling 1,000 at least, I think. So, yeah, so, but unless people were willing to pay like, I don't know, like £10 for it, or £8 at least. So yeah, who's still there? It's just like brainstorming ideas, things like that. Anyway, smash that like, guys, if you haven't already. But yeah, it's good to talk to people, and they could suggest things and be like, "Oh, maybe you could do this." It might help to, you know, sell more or whatever. And I even have an idea of like starting up a record label, like a small one kind of thing. It would be more just as not necessarily like a record label as such, but rather like a platform to distribute music out to like, look, because I am on the autism spectrum, and to try to help other people like me that have art that they want to share out, and help them to have an audience to really promote it out to. I did see there was some Facebook group that was doing something like that, but if I could have a big reach, I would like use it to share stuff out, and yeah, like they could literally make a bit of a career from it or something, and it'd be great to facilitate people being able to do those kinds of things, and I'd just probably make the ad revenue or whatever, but they'd keep the sort of money from all their music. They'd still like own their music and everything, but it wouldn't be like a record label as such, where like they don't like they own the music and all that, which I think is just all kind of corporate crap, whatever. But you know, there's like no soul in the music. It's just corporatized. It's just manufactured for maximum profit without any soul in it, really. It's just design. Most people are willing to part with $20, about 12 quid for a good cause. Yeah. So, how's it going, Snowy Boy? Who's that? Who's Snowy Boy? I don't know. But welcome in anyway. Thank you for joining me. Custom tarot decks are kind of popular if you can get an audience that is interested. Yeah, I'm not really into tarot, so I can't really. I don't know. That's not something I really get into, but I could maybe like get a tarot deck made and target it at those people, but it would be hard to maybe reach those people. But then again, if I get a big enough audience, then it'll be much easier to reach those people, I guess. All right, good for you, Snowy Boy. Looks like we've got a troll already, but yeah. Make sure you follow if you haven't already. So, but yeah, I'm just trying to focus on doing things that are more positive, really. And I've been a bit down, and I was just getting frustrated with the channel, and it wasn't going anywhere. So it's best to try and focus on something that's actually going to be, something that's practical, something that can actually grow and be a sustainable business plan, and actually something that you got to focus on the business side of things. You got to focus on how are you actually going to generate revenue, and not just the amount of views that you're getting, because that's a part of it, because the more views means the more leads that you can generate, but with those leads you can sort of maximize the profits. Things like affiliate links, things like sponsors, those things could come in as well at some point. Amazon would be a good place to sell them. Yeah, I could do that, because then I don't have to have my own like store to do that. And a lot of people do like drop shipping, but that's not their own product. So they're selling things from like Alibaba or whatever platforms, like, to then sell them on a higher price on their own store or whatever. So what they do is they buy it off that store. They would then get it to go to that other person's address, and they'd be like the middleman between it. And that's how I understand it anyway. They take a profit from that. But yeah, Amazon would probably be a good idea. There's this thing called the Amazon Associates program, which is an affiliate program that Amazon has, where you can get paid to sell Amazon products to other people. But it's obviously, it's kind of be difficult to get enough people to buy those products, I guess. So you need an audience to do that. But they might only give you like 2%. So if someone buys something for like £100, let's say they buy an iPad, it's £100, whatever it costs. You might get a couple of quid, which is all right, I guess. If you can sell like a bunch of those every day, then it can become profitable. Like if you could sell like, I don't know, like 100 of those a day, let's just say, for example, at £2, and you made like £200 a day, which would be quite a lot of money, really. But even if it was just like 10 a day, that's £20 a day, like £600 a month. That'd be a nice income to add to other income streams. It all depends on what your needs are and everything. But I suppose it's good if you're like, say, like on a, like, still living at home at your parents, you have time to actually take risks and take chances with like different business strategies, because you're living at home, you're pretty much living there rent free. I mean, you might have to pay a bit towards it or whatever, but even if even if they don't like own their own house, you might have to pay a little, but it's not going to be that much. But you'll have a lot of your stuff paid for, so you won't really have to worry about the costs of living and stuff, and you can just take some chances and do whatever business. But it's worse when you've like moved out from your parents and then you don't have the do a lot of these things at that point. So yeah, so I think a lot of these young men should probably stay with their parents a little bit longer, just so then they've got a chance to actually start a business, because then they can take that risk and see how it goes. But then if they've already moved out, it can be you might not have as much money to be able to inject into it, and you might find that you're not able to scale it as fast, and so it might be a good idea to try start some of these things when you're still living with your parents, because you might even just have like a part-time job and you can just have more time to actually focus on the business that you're trying to do. So yeah, it is what it is. But there's so many places that you can promote stuff, like things like Etsy. You can put art out on there. I don't know if you could put things like cards on there, but they're going to take quite a big cut. It'll help promote your stuff out, so it can be good for that. Yeah. Yeah, so anyone still here, guys? But yeah, just have to see how many people are willing to buy one of these things. But maybe I need to get a design made and then see what people's interests are in it. So it's just to come up with ideas would be the difficult part, really. But like I said, I've got this guy who can help out, but he says if you just get some general sort of ideas together, then I can send it to him and he can have a go at it, see what he can come up with. Like I said, Cat Tarot could work potentially. If I could, tap into that community, but I have no interest in tarot. I think it's a bit of a scam, to be honest with you. I don't know what you think about tarot, but to me, it's just kind of, it's like these fortune tellers and, like these palm readers and all these kind of people, they're just like, it's like a grift in that. To me, it's just, I don't know if these people really believe what they're actually doing. Do they actually think it's genuine? Or do they think it's all kind of baloney? And they're just milking it for profit? Because that's kind of what I see with a lot of this stuff. I mean, there might be some genuine people, but it's just, I don't know. It's hard to really trust anyone these days, isn't it, really? So many fakers, so many. Tarot is a scam to me, but I've bought a few decks for the artwork. Well, yeah, because you can appreciate the artwork of it, like. So yeah, yeah, there's something good in everything, I suppose. Something good that you can get out of it, everything. But yeah, with these decks, if I was to sell a 15,000 plus, it then goes down all the way down to £1.5 per copy. So, but yeah, what I'd do is I'd cap it at a certain amount, which would then create, scarcity, which would mean that people would be like, oh, I better get it now because it's going to run out. So it gives them that urgency to get it. So it could work to get more people buying it quicker by telling them it's going to run out soon. There's these psychological tricks in it. That's what these businesses use to get people to buy their stuff. So I just keep on coming out with new products every few months, maybe like every 3 to 6 months, something like that. But this thing alone could generate, like, once I'm selling, like, say 5,000 copies, then we're looking at maybe like around 15,000 or so probably per batch of them. That would be the profit margin I think would be looking at. So even at just like 2 of those a year decks, I mean, like, we're looking at about £30,000 a year in pure profit. So which is obviously quite a nice amount, more than actually what most people earn from their day-to-day job. But once you've got the audience, it becomes easy because then you just target it at those people who have already bought it. Maybe I get them on like a mailing list or something and just send it out to them. And if they're keen on buying more, they'll just keep on purchasing. And yeah, maybe not every single one will keep purchasing, but then I just have to find a few new people maybe that will be, shouldn't be too hard. But it's just about trying to get like a legit fan base. Like, once I've got maybe 1,000, that's probably even enough at that point, because then I'd be making about 2,000 to 3,000 per batch. But that would, if I do that every, I don't know, 3 to 6 months, looking at a few thousand each year. But that is just one stream of income. So I've still got other things I've got in mind, even the record, so like a record label type of thing, or just record, helping to promote records. There's other things that I'm considering as well, like I said, that affiliate marketing. There's other things, and I'm hoping it could maybe go up to maybe like 100K per year, something like that at some point. That would be kind of like the goal, to get like 6 figures per year perhaps, and I'll be able to live my dream life pretty much with that. I think be able to live in the house I want to live. I'll be able to have all the network that I want to have, all the people in my life, all the successful people, everything. I'd be able to go on holiday whenever I want. I wouldn't have to ever worry about money again, at that amount, that you just kind of just living the dream life. But after a certain point, I just think it's unnecessary, and it gets to a point where it's more about status than it is about actually it benefiting your life anymore. These people like Andrew Tate, and it's like, these people have way past the point where it actually benefits. I mean, even he said that anything more than $20 million is not going to benefit your life anymore. So basically, ultimately, it comes down to status, doesn't it? Look at me, I've got all this money. Yeah, whatever. Who cares? I mean, it's kind of diminishing returns as to like it making your life better. Beyond a certain point, it basically doesn't make your life better. Maybe you could then use your wealth to actually benefit others at that point, once it stops benefiting you. So maybe there's a reason to actually earn more, so then you've got more money to invest in projects like venues and different things that could actually be beneficial to people. Maybe use it to fund different charity organizations, things like that. I don't know, but you just got to think, why do I need all this money? Where would you live if money were no option? What do you mean? Do you mean if money was like no like object? You mean, is that what you mean? Like if money was like not an issue, like I said before, I'd probably live somewhere a bit more exotic, maybe somewhere like out of the country, perhaps in a warmer country, perhaps more somewhere with a nice beach, golden beaches, maybe something like that. Somewhere kind of um, like sea view, like a villa type of thing. But you're looking at probably like some of them you can even get to like half a mil, but for a good one, probably a mil. But once you're earning like probably six figures, you've probably got enough to then go and purchase one because you've got enough money coming in, and you won't necessarily have to like get a really massive mortgage for it. You can just, but yeah, or you could just rent one out. It depends, but yeah, because some of them, you might have to cost like a couple of thousand a month or maybe more on like rent. But once you're earning like say 10,000 a month, that's only going to be like 20% of your income. But that's pretty much what rent is for most people's income at this point. So, but yeah, it would just be about kind of setting it up so I could actually live the dream life, actually be able to go on holiday whenever I want, travel the world whenever I want, wherever I want, without any limits. So that would be the idea anyway. But thanks for the question anyway. But I suppose I will be traveling around on the bike, but it's not necessarily the best. It would be nice to have some place I just wake up in the morning, just a nice, comfortable place. But obviously, it wouldn't be ideal to be like just sleeping in a tent all the time. But I don't know. That's the idea I'm going for. That I'm gonna be in a tent the whole time, pretty much like sleeping in a tent. But I've never actually pitched a tent before, so I just feel a bit daunting that. So I'd have to do it like every single night, and yeah. The other option I was looking at is getting a trailer to go on the back of it, that I could sleep in. But I have to look to see if there's any like cheap ones that are like quite sort of lightweight, because the more weight that you have on the back of it, it's just going to slow you down more and more. So you want to make sure that it's not going to slow you down really bad. So hybrid electric, apparently they're capped to about 15.5 miles an hour. So let's say you can keep up that pace most of the time. You're going to probably have some stops and stuff like that. But you look at possibly even doing like 100 miles in a single day. So are you sick of living where you are, or just want to travel for a bit? Well, I want to move out and actually explore, and just then I want to settle down somewhere else. I want to settle down somewhere where I'm more successful and have the life that I want to live. Then I can like focus on settle down with a woman, maybe have a family or something like that, possibly. But I know a lot of people saying at this point that's not really a good idea, but I still want to be able to do that, even though there's all these issues with like some of these modern women, but there is still some good ones out there. And people say, well, you don't want to have children because it's such a nightmare. But it's like we're designed to have families. That's what they're biologically designed to do. But I've got to focus on making sure I'm financially ready for all that. Make sure that I've got a lot of money coming in. So then I can actually give the children the best upbringing. I can sort of they'd be able to get the best education, for example. They'd be able to like live the best life, or have that make sure they're getting all the best kind of food and everything like that. So it's just setting your life up so that you're actually going to give the best life to your potential offspring and things like that. So then, but yeah, I think that's what gave a lot of people motivation to want to work hard back in the day, because they would have families to come home to, and they would have to put food on the table for all the family. So when you've got something other than just you're more probably going to be determined, and you've got that woman there that that she's going to be there and she's going to take care of you when you get back. And I think there's a lot of men just like dropping out of society now, because partly it could be that because they're alone and they're just they feel like they're just lost and just lonely. They don't have that companion with them anymore that try to actually focus on career or starting a business or something like that. But I don't recommend people getting into dead-end jobs though, because that's not gonna probably help unless you just plan on getting it and then just getting experience and then moving on and getting another job that hopefully in a better position. But you've got to focus on progressions and making sure that you work your way up if you're going to get into that. You don't want to be stuck in some minimum wage job that you hate for the rest of your life. And so many people settle for that. So I think I've heard something like between 80 to 90% of people dislike their job, which is not surprising, really. Most people don't really want to be doing it, but they only do it because they have to do it. Otherwise, they're not going to get money. They need it so that they can put food on the table. But I want to show people that you don't have to live that way. There's other options. Family life has changed drastically in the last 30 years. Most people don't plan on having a family anymore. That's kind of sad. I don't know if you agree, but you hear a lot of them going on about anti-natalism and all that, and I'm like, it's just all kind of sad, really, that people have lost that kind of sort of desire, like that passion for starting their own family, and it's just the magic of that, of having the appreciation to actually, like, you're starting your own family, you've created yourself, you've one plus one has come together and created another being. How amazing that is, how magical it is. People just take these things for granted, that it's just, but yeah. And some people just like, oh, I just want to like become a boss babe. This is what these women are, and then they end up like single and lonely and with no kids. There's this thing called single income, no kids, or SINKS for short, and it's just a sad situation for some of these women, and because they just kind of wasted their 20s, and then some of them tried to do the whole boss babe crap, and then they just kind of they got to like the point they're in like their 30s and 40s and whatever, and now they're stuck. They're basically, their biological clock is ticking, and it's taken them so long to find somebody because they've passed their prime. So now so hopefully women are learning from that now, and but it is what it is. Actions have consequences. And when you focus on, like instant gratification, then that's what ends up happening. You end up suffering long term. But you want to actually suffer now and then have long term to be gratified in a long term. Yeah, it's all design. Yeah, it's all about population decline. That's what they want. But like this whole overpopulation myth, it's just, I mean, we shouldn't keep on, having more and more and more people, there will be a point when it does become. But we're already like below replacement level in some countries right now, and I think the other countries will soon follow, even the ones that have been quite high birth rates in the last 50 to 100 years. But the those ones will eventually start to decline soon. I think maybe after 2030, we'll start to see those countries start to go into decline. I mean, it's almost at a the room, like replacement level already in even those countries. So we'll just have to see how it goes. But yeah, as you got like modern feminism and all of that, and I get some aspects of it, like like the right to equal pay and all that sort of stuff. But now you're getting some of them trying to claim that they still don't have equal pay. And while there is some truth to it, it's kind of misleading because there's different types of jobs that men and women do, and it's just if they really want equal pay, then you should find a man to settle down with, and you put your income together. But oh no, I don't want to do that. I'm strong and independent. Well, maybe that's the problem because you end up just like thinking you're so independent and all that, but then you just end up like wasting so many years trying to go up the corporate ladder when you could have settled down and had a family, actually done something that probably would have felt more fulfilling for your kind of feminine purpose. But they want to deny that. They want to deny what being a woman is actually about. And acts as though like it's just funny because they go blame the patriarchy for everything, but to me the patriarchy is like, you could say, a system of oppression. It's not necessarily just men. It's like this thing of like this top down oppression, and we have this like where these kind of masculine kind of leaders, and so even some of these women are masculine, and they're just like toxically masculine, you could say, not masculine in a good way. Like real toxic masculinity is the people who are so power hungry they'll just do anything for the power and the status and everything that they get. The people who will step on other people's toes to get there. So, but yeah, the masculinity is in crisis right now. You could say it's one of the biggest epidemics right now. Is there's weak men, but then you get these women that are trying to be strong and all that. But you end up with a situation where you've just got the different sexes of being inverted. And it could be to like just weaken everybody, really, because these women end up not really getting anywhere. They just end up just selling out to corporations, a lot of them, and which are men, by the way. A lot of them run by men, so they're just sucking up to some other dude that's got more money than they have. So they think they're so strong and independent, but yeah, they depend on the man to give them the job, unless they're working for themselves, which some of them will. But everyone depends on somebody. There's no such thing as independent because we all depend on somebody. Even self-employed people, they depend on somebody. They depend on their customers for work. Like everybody depends on somebody at some point. Like there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that's the way it is, and yeah, top-down oppression, basically. Yeah, that's what we see. It's just these people at the top who are all trying to dominate for the top position. And it's like you get all this stuff about like Elon Musk and like Mark Zuckerberg. And it's just, to me, it's all just a joke, man. It's just like what this guy was saying. It's a parody of the 21st century that you've got these two, massive billionaires that are just say that they're going to fight it out. It's like these people are a joke. I don't know. It just it's probably just some like publicity stunt that they're just so that they can then, I don't know what would be in it for them, but yeah, it is what it is. But I just want to focus on positive things, doing something good for the world. Because yeah, there's this like evil stuff going on, but at the same time, I'm like, there's not a whole lot we can do about all that stuff going on. But what we can do something about is how it, how we live our own lives and what kind of mark we're going to leave on the world. But I would say my words of advice is focus on what you can change, not on what you can't, because you're going to feel more empowered. Like so many people just focus so much of their energy on things they have no control over. It might be just some wishful thinking and wish that they could, control this, but just forget about it. Just let it go. Focus on what you can control. And then you'll get somewhere, you feel more empowered, then you'll feel like you've actually gotten somewhere and you're actually doing something positive. So that's what I would say. But I think so many people maybe will delude themselves into thinking that they're actually doing something productive but actually they're not really. They're just kind of distracting themselves, and then probably some of them might just end up realizing it too late that they've wasted their life doing things, trying to focus on things that they can't control, trying to like save people from problems that there's just no hope for. Or for example, just try to focus on things that you can control, focus on things that you can change. It's a better use of your time, um, yeah. So just is he still there? Let me know. Just talking to someone at the moment. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, probably get off soon, guys, but I don't think I've got much else to talk about. But yeah, I'm like I said, I want to just focus on things that I have control over. I think it's always a man, you want to feel like you have control over something. And when you feel like powerless, it makes you feel like emasculated and feel weak and just feel like you don't have really a purpose and don't have really control over anything. So it's all about what you put your focus on, I think, really. I think the problem is so many people have their focus on the wrong things they just have no real control over. All right, doesn't look like anyone else is coming to the Facebook chat. Anything else to say before I go? I think I'm gonna call it a night. So, but it was good talking to you again. I try to do lives every day now, but I was doing it on TikTok, but then, like I said, they've restricted me for a week. So I have to wait until next Friday, I think it is, to go live on there again. But I'm just gonna keep on pushing on, Can't let it stop me, Some people just give up so easy. When the going gets tough, the tough get going, is what they say. So well, it's good seeing you again. Yeah. All right. Take care. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye for now.